Okay, hey grade 9s, we're going to finish off our drafting here. Last thing we're going to do are the two assignments on page 189. These are pretty tricky, but I'll do a couple for you here to help you out and hopefully get you on the right track. In order to do these questions, you're going to want to use this grid paper right here. So this is isometric grid paper, and I'm just going to kind of open it up and kind of get started on these. So this is page 189, and it asks you to sketch these and draft these. So what's the difference between the two? The only difference is you're going to use a straight edge with these. No straight edge required with these guys. So I'll lead you through a couple of these, and then I'm going to challenge you to see if you can get these on your own. I do anticipate that some of you will not. They are fairly difficult, but I want to give you time to try them on your own without just watching me do them. So maybe I'll give you some assistance when you get back to school here and go through these. But for now, I'll show you how to do a couple, and then hopefully you can get the rest on your own, or at least give it a good attempt. So as you're doing these, you're going to want a pencil with a pretty good eraser on it, because you will be doing some erasing from time to time. Okay, so let me get this into the screen here. Okay, so one thing about this grid paper here is it's actually cubes. So if you can kind of see, so I just drew a cube. There, you can kind of see it a little bit. Okay, so it's actually a bunch of cubes. So it's 3D, obviously, and we need to use this 3D idea to take orthographic and put it into a 3D picture. So where do you start, you might ask? Well, I always like to start at the bottom and whatever's at the outside of the bottom. And so I know that this entire piece is actually at the very outside, because these lines come all the way to the edge. So as I'm drawing, I'm going to have to follow these lines. So I'm just going to pick a starting point, and I don't want to get too close to an edge when I pick that starting point, because I never know how high or how far to the side I'm going to go. So I'm just going to pick a starting point right here. Okay, I'm going to draw a little dot there, and that's actually going to, I'm going to match that up with this corner right here. And I'm going to go down 2, and I'm going to go over 5. Okay, so the down part's pretty easy. Down 2. But now you've got over in this direction or over in this direction. And what I like to do is I like to take my picture and tilt it this way. So I'm going to go in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've gone 5 lines. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from this point, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. I can see I go in 1, in 1. So when I go in, again, I don't want to go on this angle, because that's not the same as what I did down here. And I can see that this and this are parallel to each other, so they need to stay parallel. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go there. So I did 1 here and 1 here. So that's that and that. And then I go down 1, over 3, up 2. Down 1, over 3, and up 2. Okay, so what I've now done is I've taken this picture here and I've drawn it on a tilt. I've just tilted it. Okay, it's on an angle. 30-degree angle, actually. And what I want to do now, I'm just going to try to get this over here. Gets a little hard to see sometimes, but I'll show you after each step. So now I know that this piece is going to come out the side here somewhere, and I know this view is going to be kind of up in this area here. So now what I need to do is I need to read my pictures. I need to look at them and see what's happening. And I can see that this peak here, it goes all the way to the back. And this peak here, it goes all the way to the back. Okay? And when I look at the side, I see these dotted lines. Remember, those are hidden lines? Well, this hidden line here is this surface that I can't see when I'm looking at it from here. And this dotted line is the top of this one. Okay, so I'm going to kind of ignore those dotted lines for now. And I'm going to extend these back. And they go back three squares. 1, 2, 3. So I start here on my point, just like here is here. Okay? And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come in a square and I'm going to go 3 more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then at the bottom, I got to draw this line here, right from here. And that's from this corner here, and it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay? You can kind of see that if I tilt it a little bit. Okay, so that's what I've got now. I've extended all these lines that I see here back 3 squares. And now I'm starting to get an idea of what it's going to look like, and I can pretty simply just join, join, join. Okay, so I've joined those guys up. And now when I see this thing, I think I'm missing something in here. Right, I'm missing a line in here. There's something wrong. Well, at this corner here, there's this dotted line. And I kind of need to show it. I need to draw it in this 3D. And it starts right from this corner here, which is right from this corner here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, now I can join that up to there. And that looks a little more correct. But I'm still missing something. I'm missing something right in here. Well, this back corner must come across here, right? So this line at the back, this back line here, I just simply need to go right from here. And I can only go as far as this line lets me go. I can't go further than that. Okay, so there's my finished product. I've just taken this orthographic picture and I've turned it into a isometric sketch. All right. That one was pretty easy, I guess we'll say. We'll maybe move right to this one at the end here, a little bit more difficult of a picture, and we'll give this a go. So obviously when you're doing this, you might just want to label, what do we got here, 9-4-A, and this is A. So I'm just going to label that as A. And I'll maybe do B over here, C over here, D over here, whatever. For my example here, I'm just going to do D right here. Okay. And again, I'm going to use the same process. I'm going to look at this view, which is the front, and I'm going to start down here. I'll choose this corner. And when I look at it from the top here, I see that some of it's at the front, but then there's also something at the next level and something at that back level. So by the looks of it, from this view, only this little bit is right here at the front. So I'm going to start with this square, and I'm not going to draw, sorry, with this rectangle, I'm not going to draw a 3 by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to draw a 3 by 6 rectangle at the front, because this is not at the front, this is not at the front, this is not at the front, this is not at the front. Only this is at the front. And I can tell that from here. These two things look like they go back a layer, and this thing here looks like it goes back another layer. So I just want to draw what's at the very front bottom. So this point, okay, I'm going to just start that. I'm going to pick a point right here, and that's going to be my starting point. And it's a 6 by 1. So it's 1 tall. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I got to keep these two lines parallel. So straight up. And I got to keep these two lines parallel. This and this. So there's my 1 by 6. Okay. Now I can see that from this corner right here, that's at that corner, it's going to go back, up, back, up, back. Okay, so back, up, back, up. Okay, I think I can draw that right from here. So back, up, back, up. Okay, looks like a stair. Oh, and then back again, sorry. So back up, back. And now it actually just comes straight down and straight over. And it looks like this is a solid side. Looks like that's a solid side. So I can do that. Straight down 3, straight back 3. And now I've got this. So it looks like a step, kind of. Okay, and that looks just like that. And I can look at this and I say, you know what, both sides, they look very symmetrical. They're going to be the same. So let's go back up, back here. Back, up, back, back. And I can't really do this line because it's actually going to be in the background. I can't see it. So I don't write it in there if I can't see it. So I've now got my front and my two sides kind of started. I'm now going to start to look at some of these pieces on the inside. So I've got these two squares, these cubes, and it looks like they're one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay, so let's make those. Over one, over one, over one, up one, over one, down one, over one. Okay, there's a cube. Let's see if we can make this one over, 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 up, back. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so there's those two cubes. And do you need this line out here? Well, when you look at it, no, it's a dotted line. So it actually doesn't look, it's not on the outside surface. So I don't need to put this and this in here because the outside surface just looks like those stairs. Okay, this cube is actually on the inside. These dotted lines that you see here, 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 that's for this face, this face, this face, all that stuff that's open, going on the inside. Okay, now I look at the top here, and I go here, and it goes straight across. There's no dotted lines, straight across. So it looks like I can just take this back, join it up. I can go to the next one, join it up. And I don't want to go to the next one and join it up because that's the top of the cubes, and it doesn't look like the top of the cubes are quite joined up. So I've kind of got this. Okay. Now the one last thing I got is this little square rectangle in the middle. And I can't see it at the top here, so it's not here. And if I look closely, these are actually dotted lines right here. They're not just part of the grid. They're actually black, darker black dotted lines. And I can see them horizontal right here, the same height as this. So this square, this rectangle, is actually inside of this back piece. It's not out here where these cubes are. And you can also see it's not right at the bottom here. It's a half a cube up and a half a cube down. Now, where does it start then, eh? So we're going to go right to the edge here, and we're going to say it's 2 squares in. And that's my first point I got to get. So here's the edge, same as this, and it's 2 squares. So it's actually about halfway here and here. It shouldn't go all the way to this line, and it shouldn't go all the way to where these two cubes would join. It's kind of splitting this right here. And how wide is it? It looks like it's 2 squares wide. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I'll join it up there. Okay, you can see that. And the last thing that shows me that this thing is inside and not outside is I would just put a line going back at the same angle. I'm trying to make it at the same angle as these lines. And now it makes it look like it's actually a hollow piece. Okay, you can see that there. So that's this guy. Now, what's the difference between sketching and drafting? Well, the only difference is I would have been using a ruler. So my advice would be, if you're good at this, Well, you probably don't need to do a sketch for these ones down here. You don't need to sketch these, but if you're struggling, what I would do is I would sketch it out like this first. Don't press quite as hard as you normally would. And then erase. And once you've erased, you should just have some lighter lines there. Then you get your ruler and you just trace them. And you make sure that they're nice and straight and even. Okay? And you kind of go from there. And that's how I might go about doing the drafting part. Sketch these lightly. Erase lightly. Don't erase everything real good because then you can't. And then trace with a ruler, straight edge. Okay? Once again, yep, these are going to be difficult. These are challenging. These are definitely level 4 type understanding of going from ortho to iso. Okay, so good luck with that. I hope this helped you out. I hope you get a good idea of what the sketching on 3D paper is, and the benefits of seeing a shape in 2D and then in 3D, and how it can give you a better picture when you're building or constructing something. Okay, so good luck with that. That'll finish off your drafting, I do believe. Oh, I guess I should, I'll probably do a quick video on this stuff in here. There's 3 pages, so I'll stop the video here and I'll do one more on the booklet stuff here. Okay.